What's going on today, guys? It is too hot to be doing this out here, but I do want to get some things off my chest real quick. First and foremost, the knife in the pocket today is the Jerry McGinnis Pro Line Mini EXO. Great knife. I will have another video or two featuring this guy. Still have to do the review, and I want to anodize the handles. Not that I don't like the bronze, but I seen one online that was baby blue. I think that'd be pretty awesome. So, anyways, I have been thinking a long time about how much content comes out daily, not just for knives, but new movies, new TV shows, new knives. If you're into shoes, new shoes are coming out like at a blistering rate that is almost impossible for any individual to keep up with. And how easy it is to get caught in the hype train of buying the newest, latest, and greatest. Just don't feel bad. If you have the means to do that, awesome. If it feels healthy and you're having fun and you're doing that, awesome. And I think, most of us, you don't stick around a hobby too long if it's not awesome, because the interest fades away. And most hobbies take effort. Like, besides going to work, besides taking care of family, besides doing all your obligated stuff, hobbies are to break up the stress of the everyday life. So if chasing the newest, latest, and greatest, or figuring out how you're going to afford the newest Sabenza drop or the newest limited release Spyderco, it's just, for me personally, I think I stayed healthy for the most part, but when maybe in the first 3 or 4 years, it was kind of an unhealthy portion of trying to keep up with all the newest, latest, and greatest. I never went in crazy debt or anything like that. I'm just talking, my mental space was almost too much taken up with knives and chasing and doing and shopping, and when's the newest one coming out and the mailing list for that, and when does the new Great Eastern Cutlery drop, because I'm going to pick that up too. I got to sell this one or trade this one to afford this one. And it's kind of a rat race that adds extra stress. It's part of the fun, but also it can be stressful. So I kind of broke my cycle big time by just getting over the FOMO, the fear of missing out on that type of thing. Like, I have a bunch of other collections, not just knives. I have an embarrassingly high amount of Hot Wheels. I haven't collected them in a long time, but that was one of my things. Going around finding the sets, finding the treasure hunts when they became a thing, and just buying the cool ones I liked. And same thing with yo-yos. I know it sounds crazy, but if you guys follow me on Instagram, which is, shout out to me, JohnsonKnives on Instagram. Just search JohnsonKnives, and that's where I'll be on Instagram. I don't post a whole lot, but mostly knife stuff. You'll see yo-yos and stuff. I have a bunch. I probably have 100 of them, maybe. If not, it's very close. And about 50 of those are like high-end, like $100 and up aluminum yo-yos, like that are limited run. Whether they make, because it's such a niche hobby, that they may make a model and release that model, and they only made 100 in total of that individual profile, the shape of the yo-yo, and then they'll have like 10 that are like splattered blue and orange anodizing, and then there's like orange and green anodizing splashed, and then the next one will be like a solid black one, and they're all like limited, like there's only 10 of these in the world. So it's so easy to get caught up in the hype of, I have like a super rare piece, I already like this thing, this yo-yo, knife, shoes, sunglasses, pants, anything, guns, firearms. There's always something that is going to be the hype train to continue fueling that drive that you want to, that feeds into like a shopping addiction. It's like, now I'm looking, now I'm in it, I'm all the way in it, I know what's coming out, and that's cool, but just know that it's easy to get overwhelmed. It's so easy, because let's say it's not like that anymore. I'm getting ahead of myself, but let's say you own Blade magazine. Now the internet, I don't even know if they publish that magazine anymore, but it could be a staff's full-time job to keep the newest, latest, and greatest folding knives. Just folding knives. I'm not talking other knives. I'm not talking custom knives. I'm talking all the factory, the newest, the new releases, taking them, reviewing them, testing them, like thoroughly testing them, and posting that section, the folder review section, every month. So how in the world could a individual, without going crazy, if it takes a team to do that, one person there's just not enough time in the day. So I used to kind of rag on some of the other knife reviewers a little bit, and it's still kind of, I think if you call something a review, you should at least have experience carrying and using that knife. I think most of us kind of know what we like and don't like. So I don't have to carry this knife for 6 months to tell you what I think about it. Even about 3 days is enough for me to give you a knowledgeable review. Now, if I just take it out of the box, I'm unboxed it, looked at it. Could you do the review within a day of getting the knife? I guess you can. You can do whatever you want. But that's a little bit of a different review versus living with something for a few days. So I am glad to see that a lot of those reviewers who used to do stuff like that now at least call it an overview, because that's exactly what it is. You just took it up, like first impressions. I just looked at it, and this is what I think right now, but let me carry it and use it for a few days or a week or a month or whatever, and then I'll tell you how I feel about it later. Because there's some things, you guys know, you can fall in love more the more you carry it, or out. Like, oh, this is just a honeymoon thing. It's not as great as I initially thought it was. It happens. So anyways, also keep your eye out. And this is a catch-22 too. Keep your eye out for things that are limited, that are like aimed at collectors. Just because something's limited, and most of you guys know this, doesn't mean that you have to have it or that it's super valuable or anything like that. When I start seeing, well, all of us, I say me because that's just drawn from my own experiences, but I'm sure a lot of you guys who are watching this have been in the hobby as long as I have or longer. You start seeing that, oh, limited things sell out faster. And it's so easy to get caught up into, well, I have a paramilitary 2 collection, so even though I don't like the red G10 handled one that, and I'm just going to use somebody's name, JohnsonKnives is releasing. I need some cold brew coffee here. Just because they released that limited handle, the G.I. Joe that grips like this and not like this, doesn't mean you have to run out and get it. You know, the fear of missing out. Something like, oh, when I take my Instagram picture, it's not, we're going to be missing out of that knife wheel. You ever see that on Instagram where they make the whole wheel around with all their knives, or a stack of all the colors? It's really cool. And I'm not busting on anybody who has the means to do that and had the dedication, the drive. All that takes a lot of effort to track all those down, to have the money to be there when it drops. If you do miss the drop, to find it on the secondary market, to pay the markup prices on it, all that stuff. I respect it, but at the same time, you know, it's easy to get caught up in that hype train, and limited edition stuff can do that. The problem, it's not even a problem, it's a good thing overall because it's more options for us, the consumers. But when like the knife, the paramilitary 2, I'm just going to keep using that, is like, oh, now it's S90V, oh, it's S110V with a carbon fiber handle. You know, it's stuff like that that's like, wow. Yeah, you're limited run, you got me, because we all have to have that knife. I wish that they would just make as many as would sell, but I understand limited resources, they're not easy to make. I understand why companies do it. Just like a custom knife maker, if he was making custom knives, you would not want to make the same one indefinitely, forever. At some point, you want to say, I only made 10 of these pro lines in this color with this blade configuration, and that's it. Because what that does is on the secondary market will keep value, which also feeds into your buyers feeling very secure in spending $300 for your knife, because they know it's probably going to hold the value, if not appreciate. You know, there won't be much depreciation there. So it's kind of a convoluted video. I hope you guys get my message. It was easy for me to step out and just say, oh, I'm gonna miss a lot of things. I had life going on. I jumped into the wine world, which I had already been in, but being in sales, it's my job to keep up with all the newest wines. What are the newest price points? What countries are getting popular? What styles are getting popular? What varietal is on the up and what varietal's on the down? You know, so it's my job. It's my company's job. And you still can't. When you walk into a wine store and you see the whole walls and walls of everything, you can't try everything. You can't own every knife. You can't own every limited knife. There's gonna be a ton you're gonna miss out on. It's hard to describe what I'm trying to convey. It's like, I have learned to appreciate what I own, what I actually own, and carry and use it. And I guess my personal thing is I like patina on things. So it's fine with me. If I beat this knife up, if I carry it, scrape it, carry it, it's mine. You know, I may trade this knife. I don't know. I'm not in love with this knife. If you have a trade offer, go ahead and send it to me. JohnsonKnives@gmail.com. Not a plug for that, but I'm just saying, I appreciate some of the old slip joints that I have had for 10 years. And they're scratched up and beat up and have their own patina, maybe some rust spots on the inside of that. It's just character for me. So I have really embraced the character side of carrying and using my knives, as much as I like the newest, latest, and greatest release. And that's not saying it's better or worse. I'm just saying that's how I personally felt great about not having to keep up with the newest, latest, and greatest. And also, I got into the customizing side of things. I already own this thing, so can I make it unique, more my style? Could I take that everyday paramilitary 2 and maybe get some handles for it, maybe do a blade finish, maybe round the spine, or whatever, put a new clip on it, something like that. So I think a lot of people know exactly what I'm saying, because that has really been embraced. When we were all really customizing our knives and doing stuff like that, and I was in it doing all the nuke jobs and stuff, super popular. It's even more popular now, I would say. I don't know many people who are doing the work, but I'm saying you have people like Hinder having a tri-way pivot where they can... I have something in my head this whole time. Oh my gosh, a piece of napkin. It's so hot out here. Why didn't you guys tell me? Why didn't you tell me? I've been like, so I'm not shiny for the camera. I'm a greasy Italian. Greasy. It's like a 95 out here. Super humid. But Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. I just wanted to get that off my chest. It's something I think about quite a bit. You know, with all the new movies, all the new TV shows, new knives. My son, he loves sneakers, but you could just never keep up with it. And just know that even the limited release stuff, if it's like a good one, like what I was saying, the carbon fiber S110V blade, something limited a run, and you miss out, you're gonna have to pay a real pretty penny to be able to obtain that knife later on. So that's kind of the negative to it. If you don't keep up with that rat race, the fear of missing out is true. Like, you really will miss out on stuff. But I think the mental of getting out of the stressful rat race, if it feels stressful, again, if it feels stressful. Some people are fully involved in that. You need a hobby to kind of balance your work life out. I think it's a good, healthy hobby, but there is definitely points where it's not, and I think we all know that too. So I haven't had that issue in a long time, but I know when I really got into knives, like seriously, it was fast and furious, ripping through. I was on the forums, I was seeing what knives were in stock, seeing if I could sell what I had. And the weird thing about that is you're getting knives in, you're waiting till the honeymoon wears off, and then you're letting them back go, catch and release, catch and release. And then you hold on to some. That's kind of how I have been able to curate like the collection of knives that I am just so happy with, that I can then enjoy just owning and carrying. So I don't know, it's a journey. Any hobby's a journey, and this could apply for anything, not just knives, anything. So that's it. We will be doing an anodizing video on this. Did I say that at the beginning of this? I seen a baby blue one, like a higher voltage blue, and I know I can do it. I think it'd be pretty fun. And I also have the review on this. I know it's an old knife, you probably can't get it anymore, but why not, right? That's it, guys. It's been really nice hanging with you. I hope you guys have a good day. See ya.